Now that it seems that most of you have joined us, we're going to go ahead and get started. So before I hand it over to James Aziz to take us through the topic today, a quick reminder to submit any questions via the Q&A panel during the presentation. Once James and Charlie finish, I'll come back on the line and we'll address as many of these as we can live, and we'll also follow up offline. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce James Aziz, who will start us off with today's webinar, Timing is Everything, How to Optimize Customer Contact Using AI.
Thank you for that introduction, Alex. We're very excited to share with you here today the story of Delivery AI. Your presenters here today are myself, James Aziz, and Charlie Horn, two of our senior consultants at Munvo. And between the two of us, our verticals of expertise include insurance, banking, telecommunications, hospitality, and many in between. At Munvo, our specialization is as a marketing solutions system integrator across our four practices. We've also crafted an ensemble of incredible products that make these platforms even more powerful. As a collective, we've served our customers through 300 projects over 15 years of experience. And in creating Delivery AI, we took that collective experience and distilled it into a product. And that product is tailored specifically for you, for marketers. So as a point of reference to frame this presentation, per the Harvard Business Review, the anticipated value that AI will unlock is between $1.5 and $2.5 trillion in the marketing and sales space. And so far, we've helped our clients extract that value in many different ways. For example, in the banking industry, Delivery AI helped improve customer journeys to double retainment after 12 months. And in the hospitality space, where Delivery AI tripled conversions for hotel room upgrades. And that's just a taste, and we'll walk through the numbers, the value propositions, and the benefits in today's presentation. But just for a moment, I want to briefly touch on what the goal and the ethos and the driving motivation is for all of our AI products. Ultimately, everything we do and we design is to be used by people, and artificial intelligence is intrinsically a reflection of us and how our brains work. The technology we're using today is predicated on recurrent neural networks, which are inspired by the structures of our minds. So you would expect that anything built around AI have an almost intrinsic familiarity. What I hope you see today is not only a product with incredible business value. We wouldn't design a product and create it if we didn't strongly believe it could bring value to your organization. But as a product designed with care and thought for how you're going to use it, and a product that's completely transparent, that clearly measures and shows the value that it creates for you. So Delivery AI is unique, and it's a distillation of Munvo's extensive professional services experience in artificial intelligence. It's a platform designed and developed completely by Munvo. And it's the most advanced artificial intelligence product for delivering emails at the perfect time. We've not only designed the artificial intelligence capability, the algorithms and the models built into Delivery AI, but we've gone beyond that and created an infrastructure that's scalable and as cost-effective as possible. That enables us to pass those savings along to you and to give you tremendous value at a very accessible price point. Delivery AI integrates seamlessly with the platforms we support. Adobe Campaign Classic, which you're going to see demoed here today, but also Adobe Campaign Standard, as well as Unity Campaign. We've seen our clients embrace Delivery AI's ease of use and effortless plug-and-play capability to drive revenue in many different ways. Increasing conversions and reducing customer fatigue are two of the most common ones because of just how fast clients have seen a return on investment. And I'm going to discuss 3 use cases we think you'll find particularly relevant here today. One fairly common campaign that we'll see across our clients is a next best offer initiative. Let's say you're a telco provider and you're running a phone upgrade campaign. You've segmented your population and you've decided who you're going to offer the latest phone to. The final step is to send out that communication. Without delivery AI, you would send all your emails at once to all your customers. What delivery AI does is optimize this last step to maximize the likelihood of a customer open or click. So let's say we have a 10-day window that we can send communications in. Well, based on how customers in our targeted population have engaged with us in the past, we can understand when they're likely to be most receptive. So we look at the upcoming 10 days, and for each customer, pick the right date to send them a communication. In this diagram, the thicker the line, the more customers are targeted on that day. So as you can see, delivery AI indicates that about 30% of our customers should be sent a communication today. As we move along, we see a smaller share of customers in this campaign targeted in days 2 to 5, and then another slight uptick on day 6, and so on. So by understanding on which day and at which time each of your customers is most receptive, delivery AI provides a plug-and-play solution to generate conversions by sending emails at the perfect time. The second use case I'd like to mention is when, for example, you have a recurring discount campaign. So let's say you're a retailer, and you're offering 10% off a next purchase to an eligible population. You ran this campaign last year without delivery AI. And this year, you want to run the same campaign, but leverage delivery AI to improve conversions. You know you want this campaign to run for the next 12 months, and you'd like to ensure that each customer is contacted 5 times. Delivery AI selects, based on how customers interacted with last year's campaign, the best touch points throughout the year for each of your customers. So in that way, delivery AI helps you optimize contact frequency for each customer. And because of how affordable delivery AI is, you see that reflected in a quick return on investment. And third, one we've had many requests for, and we really worked hard to make sure we got right. Keeping your customers is a crucial part of your marketing operations, and delivery AI makes that easier than ever. Delivery AI understands for each of your customers on an individual basis, at which point they become fatigued. Without delivery AI, you may have set a maximum number of emails for all of your customers. But each of your customers interacts with your marketing journey in a slightly different way. Delivery AI enables your marketers to tailor a level of engagement to each customer. So let's say you're running a campaign and you've generated your final list. Customers A, B, and C are in your final list. And in this case, you've decided you want to run 2 suppressions. One, for customers that are likely to opt out at this communication. And 2, for customers that are unlikely to open this email, thereby contributing to fatigue. As a marketer, you define that for the first suppression, customers must have a minute maximum 80% chance of opt-out. In this case, that means that customer B, who has a 90% chance of opt-out, will not make it through the suppression. As a marketer, you also set the minimum probability of open to 50% for this campaign. Because customer A has only a 40% chance of open, we won't send them a message either. Finally, customer C has passed both suppressions and thus is targeted by this campaign. Now, delivery AI ensures that you're in complete control of this process at all times. The thresholds, the minimums, the maximums, you can set them all with complete transparency. And in that way, delivery AI gives you the tools to understand your customers more deeply using AI, and then leverage those insights to make more informed decisions as to who you should target and when. So with Delivery AI, you can suppress customers who are unlikely to open or likely to opt out at your upcoming communication, all in a way that's intuitive, easy to use, and gives you complete control and transparency. And with that, I'd like to pass it along to Charlie, who will walk through a demonstration in Adobe Campaign class.
Thanks, James. So in developing Delivery AI, and particularly the Adobe Campaign connector, we really focused on making sure that we weren't asking our clients to do too much in order to get up and running with the new technology. There can be often barriers that prohibit companies from taking advantage of AI solutions, and we wanted to do our best to remove those with this product. So the first aspect of that is making sure that the deployment of the product itself is convenient and familiar. And so with that in mind, this is going to deploy as any Adobe Campaign package would. With just a few clicks, you import your module and you're up and running and you're ready to go and use this product. So that will be very familiar for any existing users and easy to learn for any new users. Once it's been installed in the application, a big issue for us was making sure that we weren't demanding that the client environment accommodate our tool. That means that we're not asking clients to remodel their data or change the way that they contact their recipients. So in order to do this, the first part was to integrate directly with the out-of-the-box recipient table. This is used by almost all of our clients in some way and comes default with the application when you install it. The next portion is taking care of the biggest barrier that we have in any AI solution, and that is just making sure that we have reliable data to do training and our predictions. And so in order to accommodate this, we are going to be using the out-of-the-box contact history data that is collected from the recipients and is available in all environments in a structured and reliable way. From an operations standpoint, the major components of this application are going to align with what would be a typical Adobe Campaign team. That means that we have, on one hand, we have our administrative and technical components. Those are going to support the primary functionalities and also integrate the front end with the back end. And then those front end components are going to be what the campaign operator would use and the main interface that they're going to be taking advantage of. So these campaign operators are people that are probably responsible for working with marketing teams and deploying campaigns and collecting that contact history data. We found that not just with Delivery AI, but with these Adobe Campaign deployments in general, this separation is key just to make sure that that you're able to scale your operations efficiently. So as your team gets bigger, just making sure that people have their own areas of expertise and they're able to specialize in these processes and work together while not having to know every aspect of the tool. And finally, this tool is a serious enhancement to the capabilities of Adobe Campaign, but it's not invasive and doesn't it doesn't require that you overwrite your campaign deployment processes. So what I mean by this is you're still going to be creating your campaigns, deploying your emails in the same way, and also collecting your contact history in the same location. So any deployments based on this new model are going to be living alongside any existing deployments or future deployments, so that any current export processes that are doing reporting or analytics on this data can stay intact, and it encompasses all activity on the platform, and there's no need to change it just to accommodate Delivery AI. And so I'll go into a demonstration here in a little bit, but I'll set the stage for this particular use case. So in this scenario, we have the marketing team at an organization has approached the Adobe Campaign team, and they're saying, we have a new product and we want you to deploy a campaign to advertise this. So the marketing team provides a list of recipients and a 5-hour time period in which they would like this campaign to be delivered. Using advanced email timing, which was the first use case that James presented, the campaign team will be able to use AI to determine the optimal time of day to send these messages to recipients and receive the maximum engagement from them. So you'll notice that James demonstrated this use case choosing the optimal day over, say, a 10-day span. This demo is going to show that that is flexible, and we're able to also deploy based on an optimal hour within the day, which clients may find very useful. So I'll stop sharing PowerPoint. I'm going to switch over to the Adobe Campaign tool. Okay, so while I'm doing this presentation, keep in mind that I'm playing the role of the campaign operator that I mentioned in the first slide. So the technical aspect that is supporting the backend is abstracted away from me, and as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't need to exist. I'm simply working with the interface that you see here, which you'll see is quite convenient. So my first step as a campaign operator is I need to create this prediction, and in order to do that, I'm going through my menu to this new custom delivery AI object. I'm creating my predictions folder in which I will create a new object. We'll choose our start and our end dates, which in our case are just going to be today. And our execution time, so we'll say maybe 1 p.m. And our mode. And so mode is going to be your choice, and you can choose from the 3 use cases that James mentioned earlier. So we have timing optimization, cyclical engagement, and fatigue reduction. Our current use case is for timing optimization, so we'll select that one. And then the next 2 parameters here are very important because these help us measure the success of our models. So the way we're going to measure success for this model is going to be control testing. So it's optional, but we can assign a control population where we will not apply these results, and we'll send to them as if we would in any other campaign. And then from there, we have a process that's going to, after the campaign's been delivered, going to go back and measure, okay, who is more engaged? What percentage increase did we see from the population that was targeted using the new data provided by Delivery AI? For now, I'm going to leave that at 0. And now we need to take the list of recipients that the marketing team provided. That could be a list of recipients in a CSV. It could be just a filtering criteria to apply to the recipient database, or it could be just a select handful of specific people. So the convenient way to do this is just through the add button. And here you can search, or you can just select simply from your list, or apply a filtering criteria. Let me try something. There, so we just add our recipients, and now this recipient doesn't live in this prediction. He's just being associated to it for the sake of this campaign. So he can be associated to multiple predictions in the future. So this is the convenient interface, but right now these backend process has not been kicked off for these recipients. So I have prepared a prediction for our demonstration here that has the data prepared. So what we get back directly from the backend process that is kicked off automatically is the open likelihoods per hour. So this is our likelihood of engagement per hour that we're choosing to send to these recipients, and this is in the form of a probability. And then so for this array, we quickly parse that and choose the hour in which they are most likely to engage. So of our 5 hours across which we're running our deployment, we have 0 through 4. And then using the start date and the start time, the tool is able to calculate the optimal contact time, and this is the main data that's going to be driving our campaign. And so with that, I'll show how we're going to create a campaign and leverage this data to optimize our deployments. So we'll create a new campaign, and a convenient part of Delivery AI is it will come with some campaign templates that you can select from. So for our use case, we're going to be selecting timing optimization. Each one of these will be custom and prepared for their own use case. We'll set our scheduler to execute every hour. And then our query activity is querying our new custom data table. So this is where we're pulling the data from our custom process. So we're going to identify the prediction that we made prior. And it's going to select everyone from that prediction where their contact hour is equal to the current hour and their contact day is equal to the current day. And then this will change dimension just back to the recipient, and you can proceed with your campaign from here as you would in any other current deployment. So this is what I mean when I say this is low impact. Really, these are the activities that you need to take advantage of the new data. But once you've done this, it's already changed back to your recipient data type, and you're able to do your segmentation, your suppression, or any data enrichments, and then finally deliver or send them into a delivery and send them their email content. So for now, I will just add a delivery, keep it simple. And so right now we have it's 1:30. So in our prediction data, we have Tyne Adamoli, who is to be contacted in the 1 o'clock hour. So we'll see them being picked up first. And then we have Tyne Adamoli is picked up for the first wave of the deployment. And if we just fudge our results for a bit and pretend like we went 1 hour into the future by setting our start date back an hour, and we rerun the campaign, we'll see we've picked up Abby Adamoli, who is scheduled to be targeted in the next wave. And finally, the other benefit that we discussed earlier is that the contact history for these recipients, since we're now dealing with the out-of-the-box recipient table, and we're not overhauling any of this deployment process, all the contact history for these deployments are going to live alongside any other deployments, and I can show you that. So in our deliveries, in our delivery logs, we have our 2 sends that we sent using Delivery AI, and that's now ready to be reported on or provide an input to the next AI product that we have in our platform. And so I'll move back to the PowerPoint now. And I'll wrap it up with just a few key benefits that we see both in the demo and just for the tool as a whole. For being cost effectiveness. So there's a lot of pressure on cloud service providers just to have dynamic pricing models just to keep their customers happy. And so we're able to take advantage of that. And as Munvo saves money on these pricing models, those become savings for our clients. Everyone wins in that case. Once it's installed in the tool and you've purchased this from Munvo, this tool is plug and play. This is important to us so that we're not excluding any clients. So this works directly with the base installation of Adobe Campaign. You'll have full functionality of Delivery AI as soon as you install. There's also a low time to take advantage of it because the interface is so intuitive and it mimics other modules and other components that already exist in Adobe Campaign and that all users should be familiar with. One thing that we take very seriously at Munvo and was a big concern for us because we know that it's a concern for our clients is privacy and security. So in order to accomplish this, we are taking advantage of server-side encryption. That means that any data that we need to remove from Adobe Campaign and the application database, if it is stored on another server, you can be assured that it is fully encrypted. While at the same time, the only data that we pull out of Adobe Campaign is going to be the history of our engagement, of our recipients' engagement with our marketing messages. So this means there's no personally identifiable information present in that data in the first place. Finally, what I'm looking forward to is just seeing how clients use this and need to customize this product because this is inherently scalable and flexible. So what I mean by that is if you have from customer to customer or even throughout the year, if your requirements scale up and you need to use this tool a lot more, then the backend process is ready to scale on demand to just meet your requirements and also scale down if you don't need that. So you're not paying for anything you don't need, while at the same time, you're not seeing any performance degradation when you do scale up your operations. When I say flexibility, this means that we at Munvo are ready to work with clients in order to make sure that we're accommodating potentially any custom recipient tables that you might have or contact history tables. And so if you have something, maybe you have a history of presented offers or purchases on the website, if these can be related back to a recipient and there's a timestamp to them, these can all be created or turned into just new inputs for this model. And that's just going to create richer and stronger predictions, which is going to, again, just drive better engagement from our customers in the long run. So thank you. I'll give back to James just to wrap it up with a few comments.
Thank you for that great demonstration, Charlie. At Munvo, we've created over $50 million in incremental value through artificial intelligence for our clients in the past year. And we've distilled that experience and expertise into our AI products. Delivery AI is a great example of our obsessive focus on tailoring solutions specifically for our clients. And we're very excited to see you all integrate it with your marketing workflows. Delivery AI is quick to deploy, it's easy to use, and leaves you completely in control. We've designed Delivery AI to be as accessible as possible and affordable with a low startup cost. Like all of our AI products, Delivery AI continuously measures and displays the lift it generates, so you can ensure it's delivering value to your organization. Finally, and most importantly, privacy and security are at the cornerstones of Delivery AI. And we never use data that can be traced back to any person. And with that, I'll hand it back to Alex for closing remarks.
Great job, guys. So, I mean, speaking as a marketer myself, any tool that can really answer the question of what's the best time to send that email really gets my attention. And it looks like it got some of your attention too, because we got some great questions during the presentation. So thank you to all those who sent them in. James and Charlie, let's go ahead and get started with the first one here. So the first one coming in is, what's required in Adobe Campaign to integrate this with live campaigns?
That's a good question. Yeah. In my demo, I showed how you can create a new campaign and take advantage of the campaign templates, but we understand that these are coming into live environments. There are existing campaigns that are currently running and contacting recipients. So the way to integrate these new features into existing campaigns would be to take the activities you saw in the campaign template, plug them into any existing campaign, and then by the end of those 3 activities that we saw, your recipient type will be back to what you expect, and you can proceed with the rest of your campaign.
Great, thanks for that. So, looking at it from a different platforms front here, it says the question coming in is, can I use Delivery AI for Unica with my existing campaigns?
Absolutely. So we've taken the same design approach to the Adobe Campaign Classic Delivery AI product and brought that to bear on Unica as well. And Unica, the UI is a touch different to suit the Unica platform. But in that case, you configure campaign attributes and drop it in a template, and that's how you enable Delivery AI in your Unica workflows.
Perfect. Thanks, James. So, this question switches it a bit to the infrastructure and a bit more technical side of things. The question is, do I need to configure or maintain any infrastructure for Delivery AI?
That's another really good question. The key value and key benefit of Delivery AI is that it operates as a standalone platform. So Munvo can configure and manage and update all the infrastructure when it comes to Delivery AI. So we handle the IT. You don't need to handle any of the IT.
Good to hear. Thanks. So the next one is something probably on a lot of people's mind, especially these days. And when they see something like this that, has great value, how much does it cost to get started? What are the barriers to getting started with something like this?
So as Charlie mentioned, we've built this platform to be as cost effective as possible. And we've taken advantage of some very high value pricing models. And we did that so we could pass along those savings to you and structure it such that it's a low point of entry, a low barrier to entry to get started with Delivery AI. We want you to see the value in it and then use it more and more. And hopefully you'll see increased value to your organization.
Great. Thank you for that. And last one we'll take here, and it's a bit more specific of a question. So I think you guys will like this one. Are we able to review the results and apply a manual intervention, or is it a fully automated process?
And so, yeah, I'll take that one. With the Adobe Campaign integration, it does provide the option to be fully automatic, so that data comes back from the back end, and then you can have your campaign set up to just take action on it without intervention. But really, it's up to you at that point. The steps after you pull that data into your campaign can just be straight into a delivery like we saw in the demo. But it's totally your choice if you want to add like an approval step, which people might have seen within the tool, or an alert message to a manager just saying, you know, look, this set of people got suppressed, or this set of people got delivered on day one. It's totally in your hands at that point. We're providing the data. How you act on it is your choice.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Charlie. That's great. Well, thanks again to you all for taking time to join this webinar. If we didn't get a chance to address your question live, we'll definitely reach out to you after the event. And certainly, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can find us on munvo.com, via LinkedIn, or via the email addresses that are shown on the screen. We'd be happy to talk more about solutions customized for your business. I've been Alex Ewer. Have a great rest of your day.